106 FM.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for days of old lang syne.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we've been sharing with you the history of that most famous song, Auld Lang Syne. And we're standing by now to connect with Rudy Page, the Chief Executive Officer of Making Connections Work. We see your messages coming up on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. Bruce Falloon says, morning, happy New Year's Eve to you too, Bruce Falloon. Blessings, says Jackie Walker. Good morning, Dervan Malcolm. Have a wonderful day. Happy New Year to you all. Back in Jamaica, back in Westmoreland, says Diane Murray. Jackie Walker, good morning to you. Thanks for listening. Angela in Toronto, Canada says, surprise, surprise. Good morning. Wishing all a safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Grace Shim says, good morning, Mr. Malcolm. Happy New Year from the warming west sun coast of Sarasota, Florida. I reflect and remain thankful for the blessings I'm ending this tumultuous year with. I also pause to remember those family and friends who passed. If we keep them in our memories, they will be close to our hearts. Keep teaching, keep on teaching, walk good. Thank you, Grace Shim, and thank you very much, Angela in Toronto, Canada. Norman Hines says, good morning, Sir Dervan Malcolm and listeners all over the Jamaican diaspora. Good morning, Norman Hines. Marcia Sharp, good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining us. And also Norman Hines, as we said, he's online from St. Thomas. Rudy Page says hello from sunny London. We're going to him in just a moment. Patricia Reed Waugh says, Happy New Year when it comes, Dervan. Wishing you a year of continued success. Thank you, Patricia Reed Waugh. And we wish the same for you and yours. All the best. And Marcia Sharp says, good morning, Mr. Malcolm. Sending greetings and all the best for 2022. Many happy returns, Marcia Sharp. Thank you very much. Keep those comments coming in here on your program, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. As we said, joining us now is Rudy Page, the Chief Executive Officer of Making Connections Work. He's in sunny London. Welcome, Rudy Page. How are you?
Good morning, Dervan. Yes, I'm well, and yes, it's not quite exactly sunny, but it's close to sunny.
Well, I know you'll take anything in that kind of weather, so we understand.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. So we're about the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council elections, and we're coming close to the end of the voter registration and nomination period, which is this Monday, the 2nd of January 2023. And that's for all the regions, of course, UK, USA and Canada, but my responsibility is just the UK. So our electoral committee has been working very hard to process the nominations as well as the registrations. I should say we have had to write to some people just to let them know that it's important, if you're a UK registration, that you must vote in the correct region. So if you're based in the north of England, you must vote for a North of England nominee, and because we have both North and South, and they are being kept separate, so it's really important. So you can't be based in the South and nominate somebody in the North, and vice versa. So we have had to write to a number of people to let them know that they need to re-register in the correct region. So it's really important, Dervan, for people to understand if they want their vote or nomination to count, they must register in the correct region.
Mm-hmm. And the online component, how does that work? What do they? What?
Right,
Yes.
quite simple. Go to glowjamcouncil.com. So just put into Google search glowjamcouncil.com, and the website is pretty clear, and it will say, it will indicate, you can click on whether you want to nominate yourself or someone else, or if you just want to register to vote for your particular person for your region. And as I mentioned that, we will be publishing the final slate of candidates on the 5th of January. So by the 5th of January, all being well, the names of the candidates will be on the website.
Mm-hmm. And have you done your deep dive just to get a sense of how these Global Jamaica Diaspora and Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council representatives are expected to function and serve?
That hasn't quite been our role, but we have looked into that. And what we've kind of said as a collective body, as a committee, that we think it's important to support any individuals who are putting themselves forward for the role. But it's not specifically our responsibility for that. But we do feel that we do have a responsibility to encourage young people to actually put themselves forward, but having done so, also support them as well, in terms of some of the expectations
Right.
that they have for themselves and others will have for them as well.
And what can you tell us so let's just summarize in terms of where are we right now in these Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council elections? For emphasis, maybe some people are just waking up, and maybe others just need the repetition of the information for them to concretize in their minds exactly what they need to do and what they can expect.
Right. So what I would say is that it's important to go to the website glowjamcouncils.com, and on the homepage it does give a clear overview of the purpose of these councils. One of the challenges still yet to be embraced by the diaspora organisations and individuals as well is how they're going to get involved, the pathways for involvement. But I think the first and most important thing, the purpose has been set out very clearly on the website. And the how now is going to be very much down to the relationships between the existing organizations, and if there are some new people, and we have found that anyway, coming to the diaspora movement for the first time and are still not clear of what the functions are, how to actually get involved, that's where we said that we're happy to give some mentoring support to individuals and to organizations to better understand how to get involved. So the big issue really, Dervan, is how to get involved. What are the pathways for involvement? And they're not clear if you have not previously been connected to a particular organization.
Okay.
But the most important thing, as I said, the website at least sets out what the purpose is for the councils, which is important. And as I said, that we have said to individuals, we are willing to share our understanding of and links to how to get involved for those people who are newly involved. Because we have been running quite a big campaign in terms of awareness campaign.
And give us
the pathways are not clear to involvement. The pathways, if the pathways are not there, as you can imagine, Dervan, then you have to start to create the pathways which are built on relationships, and people have to really get involved in order to build those relationships.
Right. And so the timelines and the date lines we need to be mindful of as 2022 draws to a close and we approach the door of 2023.
Yeah. So just to go over again, so 2nd of January, that's the end of voter registration and nomination period.
So voter registration ends on the 2nd of January. That's Monday or Tuesday? Monday.
So that's Monday. So that's both. So both the voter registration and nomination period end on Monday. So all those individuals who can nominate themselves or nominate others, that ends on Monday, the 2nd of January. And if you want to vote for anyone as well, that ends on the 2nd of January.
Okay. And any indication as to what the interest is like in the UK? Are Jamaicans in the UK paying attention to matters having to do with the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council or the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council, especially as far as these elections are concerned?
Right. Yeah, we've had some good interest, and it will be interesting to see how many of those people who have applied and asked for information in the end do, fulfill their registration. But we have been pleased because what we have done with our activities online and on various meetings is at least raised awareness and helping people to understand that the purpose of the council, what their purpose are.
Sorry, one moment, Rudy Page. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 7 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which makes it 2:45 p.m. in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
It is the time when we come together to enjoy the festivities of the season. But too many persons will not enjoy the holiday they planned for. Over 450 persons have died in fatal crashes since the start of the year, leaving loved ones behind. As you traverse this festive season, I appeal to every road user to obey the rules of the road, keep within the speed limits, Ensure you and all passengers wear seatbelts and protective gear. Block out all distractions. Secure your children appropriately. Have a designated driver who doesn't drink and isn't tired. Watch out for vulnerable road users. Pedestrians, wear light clothing at night. Remember, your actions on the road affect others. Be patient, be kind, and ensure you reach home safely. Have a Merry Christmas, a prosperous and happy New Year. God bless you all.
A message from the Ministry of Transport and Mining.
Season's greetings from Bay West Shopping Center, your number one-stop shopping destination. Financial, medical, computer, clothing, Photoshop, eye care, dental, jewelry, pharmacy, barber, utilities, books, real estate, and a gorgeous food court. When shopping for the best, check Bay West, Harbor Street, Montego Bay. Call 876-952-2599. Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High-Pro Food Independence. High-Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High-Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High-Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High-Pro.
Old lang syne, we'll talk a cup o' kindness yet for days of old lang syne.
That's for 7. It would be
And surely you'll be a pine stoop, and surely I'll be mine, and we'll talk a cup o' kindness
so it will be 3.
yet for old lang syne. And there's a hand my trusty fear, and gaze a hand o' thine.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on this, the last day of 2022. It's New Year's Eve, and we welcome you to this special edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. Online, we have the indefatigable CEO of Making Connections Work, Mr. Rudy Page. And don't be put off by the word indefatigable. It just means he never gets tired, in a manner of speaking. So, Rudy Page, you were talking about purpose as we were going to the break in relation.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, we were talking about purpose in terms of really responding to your point about the diaspora. In a sense, the diaspora understanding, first of all, what the councils are about, and then how then to get involved. One thing that's certainly shown up from looking at how the council works and what underpins the workings of the council potentially in the future is that the national diaspora policy, which is supposed to be an integral part of the gateway to the councils, definitely need to be reviewed so that it actually reflects how to get involved. Because a policy that really focuses just around engagement. That's the relationship building from the institution out into the people who want to get involved. But unless people understand what the pathway to involvement is, it's very difficult to implement any kind of policy directive around that. And that's certainly come up in terms of, again, people understanding how to get involved. The existing diaspora organizations also, they tend to be second generation run now organizations. Now, when we talk about second generation, when it comes to the UK, Dervan, again, thinking next year needs to be brought up to date, and I'm sure your program will be able to help a lot with this, is that the second generation are now the elders when it comes to the UK generation, because as you know, we're celebrating the 75th anniversary next year. So the second generation, this generation, they're in their 60s, they're over 60. Their parents' generation, they're all in their 80s. So in fact, what we now need to think about is the third and fourth generation, and particularly the fourth generation, those people in their 20s. So the diaspora organizations and activities do not reflect what's going on amongst that third and fourth generation. It's still, everything's still in the hands of the second generation. So how we're going to pass the baton next year, at least from the second generation, is really important. We need to hear the voices of the third and fourth generation. If the Diaspora Youth Council is going to be youth-led and sustainable, because the sustainability and involvement is going to come from the third and fourth generation, not the second generation now.
You make a very good point. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so I'm just sort of saying then is that, but then there has to be a clear message through the national diaspora policy that it is geared to the third and fourth generation, not the second generation.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's just a simple point. So I guess the important thing, as always, we are where we are. So, and it's how we make progress from where we are. So for now, then, it's about the, as we've said, 2nd of January, end of voter registration and nomination period. 5th of January, publication of final slate of candidates. And then from the 5th of January to the 10th of January, that is the campaigning, the official campaigning period. Goes from the 5th to the 10th of January. And then from the 10th to the 27th of January, that's the actual voting period. And this is online. If you are voting by postal votes, and those votes are submitted to the Jamaica High Commission in London, those votes must be postmarked by the 24th of January latest. So any postmarked ballot papers that come in, if they're voted after the 24th of January, then they won't be counted. So 24th for postal votes, 27th of January for online.
Okay.
On the 30th of January, that will be the certification of the election results themselves. And then the final announcement of the representatives will be the 1st of February.
Okay.
So that's our process timeline, election process timeline.
How has it been for you though? Because this is the first time you're you're involved with the election matters as far as the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is concerned?
It's been interesting, and I have been able to gain a greater insight. I must admit, in terms of, as I mentioned earlier, the purpose of the council. I've reread the national diaspora policy itself, and it's been a good learning period for next year and beyond.
Yeah. And what kind of year has 2022 been for you and your Making Connections work outfit?
Right, for us it's been a good year from where we were over the last 2 years. And we certainly have made progress as it relates to the Windrush agenda, the Windrush Anchor program, and for next year. So we're looking forward to build on this year's activities. So yeah, it's been a good year, and the fact that we've made it to the end, that in itself, I think, is a good achievement.
Indeed, it is. And in a word or a sentence, your expectations for 2023?
Expectations will be the same as always. Our major theme for next year is hope, strength, and belonging.
Hope, strength, and belonging.
And belonging. That's our expectations for next year. Yeah. Hope brings courage. What does strength bring? Determination. Never give up. Belonging. You can belong in more than one place. So you can belong in the UK, you can belong in Jamaica, you can belong in Africa, you can belong wherever you want to be.
Yes. Your position is quite clear. Rudy Page, it's always a pleasure to have you join us on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online here on Power 106 FM. On behalf of, if I could be so bold as to speak for the government and the people of Jamaica, on behalf of the government and the people of Jamaica, we salute you and celebrate you for the work, the service that you continue to give to Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. Well done.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Rudy Page, the Chief Executive Officer of Making Connections work, helping us to reflect and project at the same time on this, the last day of 2022 and the day before the new year 2023. New Year's Eve here on the Jamaican Diaspora Live on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it is midday in London, England.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pains? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, in association with Winchester
also messaging us. All right, I think we'll leave it there for the time being. Let's hold it there and go straight to Mr. Gilling once again. So, Leo Gilling, what kind of year did I say good morning already? I think I did. Or Happy New Year? Yes. Right. So, what kind of year has 2022 been for the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network?
Formidable, imaginative, reflective, and also advancing. I guess I could use those words to explain the things that we've done this year. We kicked off the year with a great teacher conference in New York on the campus of Manhattan College, Marymount Manhattan College, and I must give thanks to the Marymount Manhattan College and the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations. They did a wonderful job in hosting more than 80 teachers from Jamaica and teachers from all across Jamaica, not just one segment. We had early childhood teachers, we had primary and secondary and tertiary educators all across Jamaica. And it was really great 5 days of workshops. Excellent, I must tell you. And we constantly had seminars right throughout the year where we're updating, upskilling, training, and just doing workshops online for educators. For healthcare, we had we went to Canada, and we had nurses from Jamaica. And we had nurses from across both Canada and United States, not just nurses, but healthcare professionals, doctors. We converged on George Brown University, and man, was that something! It was really, really a great 4 days of conference. We did tours of Black Creek clinics. We did tours of some challenged communities and what Canada is doing about helping these communities to advance in their culture and in academics. Fabulous. And the collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Nurses Association of Jamaica and all the other organizations that came together was really fantastic. It was good to be back face to face. We still had our online virtual training. We did some great things with the Early Childhood Commission. Dervan, this year was the Early Childhood Commission championed this year as the year of early childhood development, and that was announced back in February by the Governor General. And I see some movement in the early childhood sector. To champion crime, we can't have a nose bridge plan to crime. Criminality starts as early as between age 0 and 6, 0 and 8, and we have to get those children down there. I don't think the ministry does a good job of taking care of our little ones to make sure that they're on the right path. We have over 3,000 early childhood schools. 2,700 of them have not met the certification to become official, but they're still in the basic school stage, and we need infant schools in order to say we are official schools, because the government only pays for one teacher at the infant school stage. They don't pay for anything at the basic school stage, and we need to move our development from there and plan 20 years ahead. We need to move our children and plan for them to take over this country 20 years from now. And that's how we curb crime. Not that we don't do crime now, but the best way to to have a society free of, well, not free of crime, but a society that will reduce crime, because we can't, it seems like we'll ever have a society that's crime free, but with reduced crime, controlled crime, then we have to plan ahead. And so, our little ones, we have to prepare them to be good citizens and start early, from as early that they're able to learn. We start there. In America, I don't like to compare America to Jamaica, but in this particular instance, I want people to know that there are persons with PhD teaching our children at age 3 to 6. PhD teachers are teaching our children at age 0 to 6, and we don't do that. What we have in Jamaica is practitioners who I'm not, listen, I am not saying that they're not well organized leaders and teachers there, but I believe that the government need to spend as much time as we do at the primary and secondary and the tertiary level, and especially at the tertiary level. We need to spend that same amount of resources down at the early childhood and get our kids there. I mean, I can speak of crime, Dervan. I can speak of diaspora engagement. I can speak of many things, healthcare, and we are lacking in these areas. That's causing diaspora members to stay away. There are people in the diaspora who say, I'm not going back to Jamaica because, the crime is too high. I'm not going back to Jamaica because I'm not treating people I'm good. I'm not going back to Jamaica because I fear my basic human rights will be taken away, that kind of thing. And so it's very tough. But I'm here. I'm in Jamaica. I'm not gonna let anybody keep me away. But there are a lot of people who are afraid of coming home because of all the things that are going on in our country. And so we can do as much as we can with the limited resources from the diaspora. We're not here working, we're not in the diaspora working to take care of Jamaica. We're working to take care of our families, and we're working to take care of for retirement. That's what we are working for. But in the spare time, and I don't want anybody to think that we're over here working to make Jamaica better, to make Jamaica a different Jamaica. We're looking at how we can fill gaps. So we look at what Jamaica is doing, right? And we say, okay, gaps. Here are some gaps. We have the resources to fill gaps, not to throw out the entire police department and insert ourselves in there, not to throw out the entire teachers, the union of teachers, and put our own teachers in there. That's not going to happen. But what we do is we look at, we do needs assessment and find out where the challenges are, and wherever we have the resources, because we don't have all of the resources to fill all of the gaps. But whatever resources that the diaspora has in their spare time, because that's what they have, spare time, to fill gaps and to help where they can. And so, there are organizations that do spend a whole year raising funds, raising a lot of money to come, and they do what they can with the kind of money that they have. But they can't do it every day in the year. They have to do it on their spare times. I want everybody to understand that don't let anybody in the diaspora promise you that they're going to take care of you. Take care of it. It's not going to happen.
One moment, please. One moment, Leo Gilling. Let's take this break and come back in just a moment. This is the New Year's Eve edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online.
Healthy habits start with washing your hands several times per day with soap and water. If soap and water are not available, use Benjamin's hand sanitizer and rubbing alcohol. The time by Benjamin's is
7:15 in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 3:15 a.m. in Anchorage, Alaska.
Are you in the manufacturing and distribution sector having trouble finding quality heavy-duty equipment for your daily operations? Well, look no further. Robinson's Forklift Repairs and Services is here to help. They specialize in rentals, repairs and servicing, and the sale of new and used forklifts ranging from 2.5 to 18 tons. They also have skid steers, backhoes, and wrecking services available. Their experienced staff is ready to serve you. Visit 19 Retirement Crescent or call 876-754-4712. This is Crime Stop. How may I help?
You them birds some illegal gun, but we know what them know say I'm talk.
Don't worry, sir. Crime Stop is privately funded and run by the PSOJ. Everything reported here is anonymous. It's just like you're invisible.
What about the reward?
We provide cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest or recovery. We'll stash the cash wherever you like, so nobody will ever find out.
All right, me tell you.
Make the call. Crime Stop 311. Solving crime pays.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High Pro Food Independence. High Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High Pro.
Should old acquaintance be forgot?
New Year's Eve 2022 here on your program, the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our guest is the convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, JD-TAN, Mr. Leo Gilling. And you are at the point as we review the year that has been, as far as the work of JD-TAN is concerned. You were you were making a point about some kind of expectation as to what members of the diaspora can do or will do or should do for the people of Jamaica.
Yes. I just want to make sure that we.
Sorry, just a moment, Mr. Gilling. Let me make sure you're mic'd. Okay, go ahead now, please.
I just wanted to make sure that we first understand that we are there and we are going to do we're going to do our needs assessment, and we are going to supply and deliver the type of resources that's required to fill the gaps that we can fill. I just heard a commercial talk and spoke about crime just now, and the thing that's on top right now, as I noticed, the Prime Minister has sent out a list of 30 individuals in the diaspora who the Prime Minister says are contributing to high crime in Jamaica, and that they're going to get these guys. But I want to caution people, and I am sure that the Prime Minister has done his work in doing the investigation and has put together some serious packages or files on these persons to deliver this type of list to America. Because one thing is for sure, if these guys are not committing crimes on the soil in America, it's a challenge for America to pick up these persons and instead of sending them to Jamaica, because if they're United States citizens, America not sending them down. No matter what type of treaty we have, if the crime that they're committing is not something that's affecting America and Americans, and it's just affecting Jamaicans, then you might probably find that those files are going to probably go into a drawer and sit down somewhere, right? So I see a lot of articles and people talking about this stuff, and we don't really know what the Prime Minister are, but I am going to say that the Prime Minister has all of these files done, put down, and he has provided that to the United States government, and the United States government has determined that these people have committed some kind of crime. Because let me tell you something, you can't just go and pick up somebody just because Jamaica says that they're criminals in Jamaica, right? There are human rights and constitutional rights that people have that you can't just pick them up and just carry them go a different country. I don't care what kind of treaty you have. That the law enforcement is going to have to deal with the constitutional right for any citizen that's being picked up. It can't be just, I provide you with a list. So I'm sure that there are some files, there are 30 files, big case files that show that there's some international transactional, some international transaction crimes that affect America and Americans and Jamaica, so that Jamaica and America can jump on these things. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff going on. Dervan, I want to touch on another thing because I've visited this country, I think it's like 8 times here, and I enjoy Jamaica. I really do enjoy my country, right? More than I enjoy being in the United States. I enjoy Jamaica. And so when I came down here from March this year all the way up to October, one of the things that I saw in our country was garbage going all over our country. Garbage. And I was saying to my friends, I don't remember our country being like this. It was so blatant garbage. And the next thing I wasn't seeing any garbage trucks. I wasn't seeing not one garbage truck on the street. And I'm saying to myself, how the hell do we have a country where we don't have garbage trucks driving around and picking up? So I came back here in December, and I've been driving around. I've been very, very impressed with not seeing no garbage pile up anywhere, in our country. So it's just so refreshing because every time that I came here this year, it was just really messy. I mean, I went out as far as calling a member of parliament, and they put me onto the public health department, and there was nothing, But this time I came there, and it was refreshing to see that they've done something about the garbage, because garbage tells me a lot. It's something that says, you don't respect me enough. You're allowing me to live in mess. And it's just really bad. And so, but the one thing that caught my attention, because I read in the news where we got like 50 garbage trucks about a month ago. And then all of a sudden I see there's no more garbage on the side of the street. But one thing I noticed, since I've been here for 15 days, I've only seen one of those brand new trucks. And trust me, I drove around, okay? One. But I see an abundance of the old trucks. And I said to myself, where were those old trucks? Because there was one time that I heard that we didn't have any trucks. All the trucks then broke down. But then all of a sudden, all the trucks are working right now. I don't see the new ones. I only see old trucks driving around and guys, pulling up garbage. And I'm proud of the fact. But I wondered, why is it that from March that I've been coming here, I had not seen an old truck until the new trucks didn't come? I don't understand that. I just didn't understand. Maybe you can help me there, right?
No, I've talked about it on radio before. The fact that I had noticed some what appeared to be second-hand garbage trucks that have been employed in the waste disposal services in this country, and it seemed as if a particular group of Jamaicans, once they found out about the shortage of garbage trucks, that they either invested their own funds or possibly encouraged those with funds to purchase and bring into Jamaica those second-hand, maybe even third-hand garbage trucks. So that I did notice that, and yes, I did, and I spoke about it on air. And
that's
so,
great.
yeah.
Because I drove down to Riverton, I was going to say this right, Riverton, some city dump, a few months ago, and there was no garbage truck. I mean, there was one garbage truck that I saw, and I was there for a minute, right? And then I drove down there a couple of days ago, and I saw a lot of garbage trucks. I said, wow! That's so funny. and so listen, garbage is
it's big business. I thought that's what you were going to say. Garbage is big business.
That's not what to say. It's huge business. But on my research, Dervan, I recognized that there were 30 dumps. I don't know if you know this information. There were 30 dumps in Jamaica, and 27 of them that's not being used because they had breaches, right? And only 3 are left, and the 3 are still operating. With problems. They're out of order. One of the big things is that they're not lined at the bottom of the dumps, so things are seeping out. All the murk is seeping out from the dump into our waters, and that's a dangerous stuff. That's from my research I've done.
Indeed, we wouldn't want what happened in one of those states in the USA to happen in Jamaica, where the water contamination is concerned.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going through other stuff, right? So here is in October there was an announcement, and I still don't understand this, and you may be able to share something with me, Dervan. In October, the budget for national security, the crime control, only 17% of it was used up to October. So and I think it was like $289 billion. Am I going into areas?
Is it billion? Is it billion or million? 289
billion, right? So, I mean, plus or minus, but it's billions. And if so, Dervan, how is it that we are 10 months in the year and we only use 17% of the budget? What's going to happen at the end of the year? How is it that they are already going to set the budget for next year? Because if let's say we use up 25%, we hurry up and use 25%. How much is going to be budgeted for 2023? How does that go? Because it can't be the original 289 billion, right?
Yes. That number, I'll need to just check that number. The billions. What I've heard over time, within the last, what year are we in now? 2022 coming to an end. Within the last 7 years or so, that the government has invested more than this government has invested more than any other government in the history of Jamaica. The most investment in national security has been by this government over the last 7 or so years. But the figure I initially heard was somewhere in the region of, or just over $45 billion. That's what I remember hearing. I'm not sure what has happened since I made a mental note of that 45 billion. But the government.
Okay, that's all like 70. That's all about 17%, doesn't it? For 70, 25. Yeah, that's all like about 17%.
Yeah.
Of 289. Well, I don't want to, but there was an announcement by one of the senators that only 17% of the budget was used. And I'm saying to myself,
I remember that actually. It's just the figure I wanted to check.
Okay.
Right. Hold the line, please. One moment.
Yes. Yeah,
listeners, if you're just tuning in, our guest is Leo Gilling. He is the convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. Wide-ranging participation on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on this New Year's Eve 2022.
Annual eye examinations not only assess your vision, but may be life-saving. Eye tests may detect serious health issues that go beyond your vision. Call IQ Optical to schedule your comprehensive eye test today. The time by IQ Optical is
7:31 on Power 106 FM. That's morning time. And elsewhere in the world, let's go to Kyiv in Ukraine. It's 2:31 in the afternoon in Kyiv, Ukraine.
Both sides of the story.
Do you have a title for your land? Are you thinking about buying or selling land? How much is your property worth? Tune in to Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. for The NLA and You, a program that examines the National Land Agency's role in building an efficient and transparent land titling system for Jamaicans. That's The NLA and You on Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm every last Tuesday at
Oh, no,
3:30
I
p.m.
don't.
The National Land Agency.
I don't know of anything.
One agency,
No,
one
no.
goal, committed to serve you better.
New Year's Eve 2022. This is a special edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Online we have the convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, Mr. Leo Gilling. Right, so it does make sense, Leo Gilling, if you have funds and if you've allocated funds for a particular area of development, that those funds be employed. I mean, what use are those funds just sitting in an account, just like that? And it's not even an interest-bearing account.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then what's going to happen for the next budget year? Because generally, the only time you get that money back is if you use up the budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you don't use up the budget, you get the amount that you used up the year before, which is 17% in this case.
Unless there is a plan to have quite a blitz in terms of a blitz of spending on national security with a particular timing.
So maybe that's why the SOEs, what states of emergency, maybe, because that's a lot of resources being pulled in that area.
Yeah, and it had better work, because if it doesn't, then
yes.
All hell will break loose, literally and figuratively.
Right. And Dervan, I did an earlier research on conviction rates across the world,
Mm-hmm.
and you could verify this, but our conviction rate in Jamaica is close to like 11%.
Yeah.
While in the United States we have 86%. While in Japan we have 99%, and the other countries have major numbers.
Yeah.
Closest to Jamaica was I think it's India with 39 or 44%, somewhere in there. And so, I heard announcements of gun laws going into effect 15 years, at least 15 years, when you're caught with a gun and other stuff. And I wonder, Dervan, right, if we have an 11% conviction rate, it means that whatever we are doing in crime control and is not working 89% of the time. We are not locking up. We're not convicting people who are charged for criminality.
Well, I have to say, anecdotally speaking, that there have been signs, whether you want to refer to them as being sporadic or growing, increasing in terms of the number of times that we have had this. But there have been signs of a greater level of efficiency in bringing bringing suspects into custody. I think initially, was it during around 2010, that there was a kind of a groundswell towards pastors bringing in people who are said to be wanted, etc., and also so-called persons of interest or wanted people would, on their own volition, turn up at police stations and so on. And that has evolved and continues to evolve, where crimes are committed in Jamaica this minute, and at the earliest would be within a general time period, within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and more, that we are told, or there is a report that a person has been held, or the suspect has been held, or the suspect has turned himself in, etc. There's a level of maturity. I've been watching it and monitoring it, because I usually do that just for my sense of security.
Yes, I understand that.
By monitoring the news and the general sources of information on these matters. And my impression is that there's a level of maturity in our system, and it's still a work in progress, but more people are prepared to come forward with their lawyer, with their pastor. More people are prepared to turn themselves in and allow the court to take its course.
And that's great to hear. I have not personally heard that, and I follow the news, but that's great to hear. Does that my question then? Does custody equates to conviction? And how often do people are arrested and released, or arrested? No, there's no evidence, not enough evidence. There's they're arrested and they get off, and even though they're guilty. And
well, that has happened. That has happened because such is the nature of pretty much any justice system in the world. As I like to say, justice is not about love. It's not about hate. It's not about peace. It's not about honesty, truth, trust, integrity. It perhaps isn't even about justice. It's about proving beyond, and as far as criminal justice is concerned, proving beyond a reasonable doubt that someone is innocent or otherwise.
Yes.
And so a case will turn on the evidence or how the evidence was handled, or whether there was insufficient cognizance of the law in pursuing a particular approach in dealing with a citizen, etc., etc. So and
we're losing that, Dervan. We're losing that activity 89% of the time, which means people are getting off of cases 89%. We're only convicting them at 11% of the time. The rest of the world have 70, 60, 70, 80%, 90% conviction rates, which means that they are gathering their evidence correctly and they're prosecuting up to 90%.
Yes.
and convicting at that rate. But we in Jamaica are not. So I'm saying, even if we have a gun law that says if we find you with a gun, you're going to jail for 50 years. If we're not convicting at 70% and 80%, the gun law doesn't mean anything. After a while, people are just going to gonna just.
Sorry, Mr. Gilling, just make an adjustment. Check if you made an adjustment inadvertently to the connection because of the volume just got thinner on your end.
Oh, wow, okay. Can you hear me better?
Much better, yes.
Okay, great. So I was saying that even if the gun law, the new gun law says, if we catch you with a gun, you're gonna spend 50 years in prison. If we are still at an 11% conviction rate, the possibility is that we aren't gonna send them to prison. The possibility is that 90% of the time they're gonna go free. So and then the way to create a deterrent from people not having an illegal gun is to be able to arrest somebody, prosecute them, sentence them, and make sure that they do their time so that it becomes a deterrent for the rest of the country.
Yeah.
If we are not creating that deterrent, then it's not making any sense.
Yeah, if people commit crimes and get away with them, then yeah, you're right. There's no deterrent there, and it means they will keep pushing the envelope.
Always pushing the envelope, and always pushing the envelope. And the only way, Dervan, to help us to get that criminality down, we have to start planning 10-20 years ahead.
Yeah.
We have to start catching our students now at the early childhood level, so then and help them to respect, because our respect for police officers is so bad, it's so low right today in today. Police has no legitimacy from their community, and so we have to build that legitimacy back. We have to get it back.
A part of that,
the respect of,
yeah, part of that too is a kind of it's a part of a strategy on the part of criminal elements as well. If they create enough animosity with respect to police personnel, and cause them to act in particular ways, then that will help the narrative of the criminal elements, because they're the same ones who walk around. Mind you, people can perhaps point to one or two instances of information being transmitted by those who should know better, being transmitted to the underworld to say who gave them information, etc. Although you would have that happening, for the most part, those who the police find themselves in the position that they do in terms of dealing with citizens because they are a lawful organization. Being a lawful organization, they can't behave like the gunmen, although some people say, well, there is evidence that they have over time. Some of them, they have behaved as such, but the gunmen they get away with impunity because in their world there are no rules, there are no laws, there are no regulations. Whereas the police, they're going to have to answer for their actions.
Yes.
So
and if the police is not, if they're not consistent in dealing the laws.
Keyword, consistent. Keyword. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, you're right. If it's not consistent, then what happens is then there's no law on the other side and no law on the so both sides are operating in anarchy.
That's right.
In ways that
one moment. Don't move. Yes, 1 moment. Yes. Let's take the break and come back, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 8 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 4:45 a.m. in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High Pro Food Independence. High Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High Pro.
Let your voice be heard. Watch TVJ, TVJSN, JNN, or One Spot Media and vote for your favorite in the RJR Gleaner National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Awards, People's Choice Performance of the Year Award. Vote from Fabian Allen's CPL catch for the Jamaica Tallawahs, Shelley and Fraser Price's World Championships 100-meter win, Nicholas Hamilton's won a goal in the Jamaica Premier League, Sharika Jackson's 200-meter World Championships win, the Reggae Girls' 4-0 win over Haiti. Vote by text or voice to 876-444-2473 or online at the RJR Gleaner Sports Foundation website or any of the websites of the RJR Gleaner Group. Sponsored by VM Group, J. Rand Bevue, Main Event Entertainment Group Limited, the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Pure Country, Free Your Image Consultancy, Television Jamaica, the Gleaner Company Media Limited, TVJ Sports Network, Radio Jamaica Limited, Hits 92 FM, Power 106 FM, RETV, Jamaica News Network, and One Spot Media.
And with war.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on this New Year's Eve edition of the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Online we have the convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, educator Leo Gilling, among other things. He's more than just an educator. And we have some of our listeners sharing information with us. We want to bring a couple of them into the mix in terms of the data they're putting forward. Let's see here. There's this story. So as I said earlier on, yes, I wasn't sure about the billions you were quoting. So here is Steve McDonald saying, sharing this information. A sum of $92 billion was allocated to the Ministry of National Security for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. This means that only $15.64 billion has been expended so far. So that's a part of the information there. And there's a little more. Hold on. There's a little more. Right. And this story now with the headline in the Observer, unacceptable, with a picture of Senator Don Webby. It said, and posted by Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada. It says here, a sum of $92 billion was allocated to the Ministry of National Security for the 2022-23 fiscal year. This means that only $15.64 billion have been expended so far. We know we read that already, but there's more to it. Earlier this week, says the story, the government had announced that it would be increasing its budgetary allocation to the National Security Ministry by $6 billion during the current fiscal year. In Parliament on Tuesday, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, tabled the first supplementary estimates of expenditure, which reflects an overall increase in the budget by approximately $60 billion. $60 billion. And Hold on. We're going to come back to you in a moment, Leo Gilling. And then Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, says, morning, Dervan. Greetings to everyone on the last Saturday of 2022. I hope all of us collectively are going to have a great 2023. Happy New Year. And same to you, Albert. And then he says, good morning, Sir Leo. One of Jamaica's problems is that the citizens are reluctant to report and give evidence against suspected criminals for fear of repercussions. One of our major problems, says Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. All yours now, Mr. Gilling, to respond.
Dervan, I don't know how much time I have, but I appreciate the comments from everybody, and thank you guys for the statistics. I also, Dervan, would like to touch on the matter of the election of Global Jamaica Diaspora Council that's afoot, and remember, I was a Jamaica. What do we call it again? Back in
the Jamaica Diaspora representative.
Something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same title. It's the same position, but different title, right?
Yes.
Back in 2013 to 2015, and I served as an alternate from 2008 to 2013, and then the Diaspora Advisory Board member. That's the term.
Yes.
For 2 years. So the one thing I must say to people, if you can vote, I did ask people to vote back in the day, and you voted me in, and I have continued the work. I was doing work with youth. I've been on this platform for more than 33 years, doing philanthropy with Jamaica and Jamaicans abroad, and so I encourage every Jamaican in the diaspora to get involved in voting. I want to caution people, though, that there are two things that are going on, right? One, when you vote, you're voting for a representative of your community, and immediately after that vote, what happens is the ministry or the minister appoints as an advisor that person that you voted for in the community as your community representative. Now, there might be a little bit of conflict there, Dervan, because we voted, for example, in America for a representative, and then the minister says, okay, I'm going to take that person and make them an advisor. So once they become an advisor, then whether they sign an agreement, whether they sign a TOR or they sign an MOU, they now become what the United States call a government agent, a government person, right? Which means you are representing the Jamaican government living in, for example, America. Mm-hmm. So I'm not so sure how would you represent a Jamaican government, which is a foreign jurisdiction, inside of America as an advisor? I'm not so sure how you become a government agent and still be a representative of the people inside the community. I have a problem with that, and I don't know what the answer is. But what we have done, what made a difference back in the days when we were voting, when we come to Jamaica and we voted in Jamaica for a representative, and that representative, even though that person is also the advisor, because the voting took place on Jamaican soil, they can be the representative, but you're voting in America, make it a different kind of a situation, right? So I have not yet gone the journey to determine how those two things work, but I want to make sure that people understand that there is a conflict there. There's a conflict or a semblance of a conflict. And Dervan, what I have, in the past 3 years, there are certain of our advisor, we call it Global Jamaica Diaspora Council members who have done great work in bringing people together and stuff. But then there are some that you hear nothing about, and I think that our ministry can do a little bit more in helping, in guiding our advisors. I mean, we've been in this now since 2004. There has to be a way in which there is something that the advisors to the government are given something that they can actively participate and perform. Because New York East Coast does well. Florida does well. But how much does Canada do? And Canada has two. And how much does the UK? Because I don't see a lot of that stuff happening. Unless it's not coming in front of me. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you that there are 28 persons across the world, and I'm not so sure if you're seeing much of, unless advising the minister means just to look at what's going on in the community and then give the minister some right? Unless it doesn't mean that you become pretty active in engaging the community abroad and so forth. I'm not seeing that. And we are here. The Jamaican Diaspora Task Force Action, we have over 2,500 Jamaicans across 47 countries, and we are willing to help. We are willing to help set the groundwork as to how to get engaged, because we learn how to do it, and we do it well, right? We do it very well. So, I offer to the ministry our hand in helping to strengthen the wings of the government inside the diaspora, because we can help, we can do it. And so, but I do encourage everybody to go out and vote for the person that you think will do a great job in engaging the diaspora community. Because some people are there just to take a position and sleep on it, and they have the position. But if you have a role to advise the minister or to engage diaspora, then I believe that we should have some guidance as to what to do, how to do, and make sure that there is some kind of accountability that at the end of the day. And so please go out and vote. Vote the person that you think is best, that will represent you as a diaspora person, and get it done.
Leo Gilling, sounds like your cup runneth over. We have covered.
I'm here.
We have covered a lot of ground this morning. It's been quite organic. Organic is good, and but we don't want to monopolize your time any further, because I don't know if you're doing your Saturday morning or your Saturday program. No. Okay.
I'm in Jamaica. I know. I'm on vacation.
Okay. Well, may you.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
Well, may you continue. May you continue to enjoy your vacation in the land of your birth. But you've raised some salient points, and some points that need to be looked at deeper. These days, people use the expression "deep dive," and
yes,
and so let us keep the dialogue going, and let us not just talk but act. Let's play our part. I mean, you've demonstrated that over the years, and you continue so to do. You raise concerns, you raise issues, you put forward suggestions, you make plans, you execute those plans, and at the same time, you're free to express yourself and your opinion on these matters of national security, education, healthcare, garbage collection, the whole works.
Dervan,
Yeah.
let me share something for you.
All right, hold on, don't move. One moment.
All right.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
8 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Bamako, Mali.
It is the time when we come together to enjoy the festivities of the season. But too many persons will not enjoy the holiday they plan for. Over 450 persons have died in fatal crashes since the start of the year, leaving loved ones behind. As you traverse this festive season, I appeal to every road user to obey the rules of the road. Keep within the speed limits. Ensure you and all passengers wear seatbelts and protective gear. Block out all distractions. Secure your children appropriately. Have a designated driver who doesn't drink and isn't tired. Watch out for vulnerable road users. Pedestrians, wear light clothing at night. Remember, your actions on the road affect others. Be patient, be kind, and ensure you reach home safely. Have a Merry Christmas, a prosperous and happy New Year. God bless you all.
A message from the Ministry of Transport and Mining.
This is Crime Stop. How may I help?
You know them bears some illegal gun, but me no want them no say I'm me talk.
Don't worry, sir. Crime Stop is privately funded and run by the PSOJ. Everything reported here is anonymous. It's just like you're invisible.
What about the reward?
We provide cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest or recovery. We'll stash the cash wherever you like, so nobody will ever find out.
All right, me tell you.
Make the call. Crime Stop 311. Solving crime pays.
Line sign, my dear, for line sign, we'll talk.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on this New Year's Eve edition, the last Saturday in the month of December, last Saturday in the year 2022, the final edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online for 2022. There's a lot to celebrate, a lot to be thankful for, and one sure way of demonstrating our gratefulness is by just doing and keep doing. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says, so Leo, have you as a rep reached out to the powers that be to create a draft of the guidelines you're proposing for the Diaspora Council reps to use as guidance? And well, Leo Gilling has been on sharing with us his thoughts. And of course, listeners, if you're just tuning in, our very special guest is Leo Gilling, convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. I think you had a little more to say when we took that break. Remember what you were going to say. Make a note of it, please. And I'll give you an opportunity to respond to Albert on Facebook Live. So he's saying, so go ahead, please.
I will respond to him after. Well, let me just respond to him real quickly. Albert, thank you so much for that question. All right, my offer is not to belittle anyone. Make sure that you understand that my offer is not to create any animosity with anyone or with any laws or any rules. I am just saying that I have seen where there can be. We've been in this space here for almost 20 years, 18 years to be exact, and we are still putting people into positions that are still not. They don't understand what to do, and so it doesn't take based on all that we have done over the years, we have come and found a way how to engage diaspora, engage people, make people feel empowered that they want to do for Jamaica. We love that. When someone comes aboard and they do for Jamaica and they feel good. Because I've watched people become very excited about wanting to do. This past October, we had 10 people from the diaspora that I didn't even know that they were going to come here. And we planned a full 4 days of activities here with our stakeholders, meeting, understanding what their gaps are. And I said, since we have done that, we know how we can help. I am not telling you that I'm going to build any guidelines or I have any guidelines for the ministry. I am saying that together we can build them together because we have the expertise. We do have the expertise. All right? So I don't want to be the person to build anything. That's not how we operate. We operate when we operate best when there's a collective. We do best when there's partnership. We do best when we collaborate for advancements. And so I'm saying, the ministry, we're opening our hearts and our hands and our love to Jamaica, and we're asking if the ministry wants to use us. We're grateful. We're great with that. All right, that's what I'm saying.
And go ahead.
No, man, go ahead.
No, there's another question here from Clarence Reynolds this time. Leo, you were at the 2018 conference in Jamaica. Did you voice your concerns then?
There wasn't a conference in 2018. There was a conference in 2017 and one in 2019. They have odd years now. Mm-hmm. I always voice my concern everywhere. And I'm not voicing a concern right now. I am extending my arms and for the rest of our team, the 2,500 Jamaicans that's registered with JDTAN, that if we can offer our skills, our expertise to help to design a way that our engagement with the diaspora or engagement within the diaspora can be much more effective if we collaborate for advancements in Jamaica. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Dervan.
Yes.
So with the point I was about to make before we went on the break, it was really grateful for you to give me the opportunity, was that in 2017, I was at the Jamaica Diaspora conference, and there was a gentleman by the name of Bobby Montague. At the time, he was not transportation, it was national security. I think he was, yes, because he gave a speech that touched me. He gave a speech on policing, law enforcement that touched me and all the needs that were there, right? And I came out of that conference and spoke with some of my colleagues and felt that, I didn't have enough information within myself to make a difference in the way that I would like to in our country and with the crime problems, right? I did not. And Dervan, let me tell you this, I'm announcing this in a big way on this air right now, that since then, I went out and I got a master's. This is no brag. This is just to inform you what I've done, because I've not told a lot of people what I'm doing. I went out and I got a master's in criminal justice, right? And what the master's in criminal justice did, it taught me everything I needed to know about law enforcement and corrections and community policing and all of these good stuff. And it gave me a framework as to how policing works. But it did not give me what I needed to know. So I went a little bit further based on something that happened when I was about 5 years old. My mom said, my son is going to be a doctor, right? So I went a little bit further and I said, I want to get a PhD in criminal justice and criminal criminology, and I am in school right now. I sold my business. I am in school right now because I want to make an impact, whether or not Jamaica gives me the opportunity to. I want to make an impact in the engagements that we have done over the years in a way that's different from what I have been doing. And so I went into this program that when I'm done, I would have earned a PhD in criminal justice and in criminology. And the criminology aspect of it is what that has fulfilled me so far. Because it's teaching me about human behavior, why people commit crime, why policemen commit crime, why policemen behave in a certain way, why the general public and individuals behave in a certain way, why, and how. That's why I have, in fact, I'll tell you this, I'm having this discussion with you with a lot of confidence because I've never done this before. But because what I'm using to have a discussion with you is my expertise that I've developed over the past 33 years in philanthropy with Jamaica, and my knowledge base that I'm using, that I've learned in the past 5 years in school. All right? And so here is something that I've learned about criminality in Jamaica, and with my knowledge, is that deterrence is a big deal in preventing crime, and we do not have enough things to deter people from crime in Jamaica. And I believe that with all of my heart, that people are not afraid of police officers, right? The only reason why if they're afraid of police officers is that they will get their butts kicked. You know, a gun butt, a kick, a box. But they're not afraid of going to jail. And the big thing about deterrence, there's a guy back in 1860 something who came up with that term that says deterrence is what will prevent crime from happening. When I see a police car in America, I'm driving down the street and I see a police car parked on the side of the street, me slow down. You understand? When people are in Jamaica and they see the police car light flashing, them follow back at it. And in America, we cannot follow back a one police car unless we are 300 feet behind it. And I see police cars with lights, and people, taximan just roll behind it and go through. We can't do that. People are not afraid of police action, and they're not afraid of police because they're not going. When one taximan can have 200 or 50 tickets and it goes nowhere, there's no deterrence in giving a ticket. And then we're having then they strike. There's no respect for the law, and this is why our crime, because in New York in 1990, New York had the highest crime rate in the country. And I am not a fan of Bill Bratton, and I'm not a fan of he was Donald Trump's
Rudy Giuliani.
I am not a fan of Rudy Giuliani, right? But when they came into office in the 1990s, what they did was revolutionary. It was revolutionary. They took somebody's theory. It's called broken window theory. And they took the theory and turned it into broken window policing. And what that meant.
Tell us about that after the break, please. Leo Gilling, convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, on this New Year's Eve edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online, the last episode for 2022.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
8:15 in the morning here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means in Adelaide, Australia, it is now 11:45 p.m. in Adelaide, Australia.
The Gleaner subscription Christmas special is back. This time, more merry options for you and your friends. Save 40% off when you choose the Daily Gleaner in print, or stay digitally connected and pay only $2.99 for 3 months. Already a print subscriber? Get your friends to sign up and you earn a 20% bonus on your next renewal. Call 876-932-6188 or 876-932-6288 now. Conditions apply. Offer ends January 7, 2023. Enjoy subscription Christmas. The Gleaner, when life unfolds.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on this special New Year's Eve edition of the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Leo Gilling has been most generous with his time this morning. He's the chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. And you were taking us along the path of the broken window scenario.
Yes. So let me kind of reiterate here. I am not a fan of Giuliani, right? Rudy Giuliani. I'm not a fan also of Bill Bratton, right? William Bill Bratton. And I'm not even so sure how much I stand on the broken window theory. And people, you can go and read about the broken window theory. It's pretty easy to understand, right? But they took the broken window theory and turned it into what's called broken window policing. So when I went to New York back in 1986, one of the things that I ran into the first, 1984, one of the things I ran into first of all was at the airport. You could not, if your friend say, I'm coming to pick you up, even if he's in the airport, it would have taken him probably an hour from the time he gets into the airport to pick me up at my gate. It was just horrendous because taxis were all over the place, people double and triple parking, and even on the streets, Dervan, when you go on the streets, people just come and stop, and cars backed up behind them. Double parking and triple parking was a big thing in New York. People jumping turnstiles, and jumping on trains and not paying. And police wasn't prosecuting those. You know, all of these minor offenses were taking place. And so when those guys came into office, the broken window policing was just 8 years old. Not policing, but theory was just about 8 years old. And they took it and said, okay, if we can police and prosecute and convict the smaller crimes, the minor crimes, like turnstile jumping and double parking and all of this stuff, and then it will cause major crimes to go away. And people didn't believe them, right? But what happened 3-4 years later, that action created a deterrent because the entire police department of New York City adopted this broken window policing and caused everybody to be talking about policing and the fear of them going through court. Now, people, when you say go to see the judge, people think that, oh, it's just an easy method to go see the judge. When you get prosecuted, there is a major process that you will not like by the time you get to the judge. And when you get to the judge, you spend a few minutes, right? The process of getting to a judge is really the deterrent. And so after you go through being prosecuted, you will get to understand that you don't want to be prosecuted again, and nobody wants to do it. So that created a deterrent. And so at the end of it all, by 2013, major crimes like murder, rape, robbery, aggravated robbery, those things went down 40 to 60%. The only problem with the broken window police, as usual, those bad cops turned it into profiling of black people. And when we look at the numbers over the time period that the broken window policing was executed, 80% of who were stopped on the streets were black people and brown people. You understand? And so the Superior Court, the Supreme Court, said the broken window policing was unconstitutional. And so they're constantly, when it comes to law enforcement, and it comes back, when it comes to law enforcement, the Constitution is always in police officers' faces, right? But the reason I tell you that story is because there was actually a plan. It ended up being not such a nice plan because bad police officers were using it the bad way, right? But they had a plan that they executed to the T. Every officer in New York County was executing that broken window policing plan, and it brought crime down to this day. Back in the day, in 1990, I think murders were like 1,000 something. I don't remember the numbers were horrendous. Right now, New York is experiencing like only 300 murders per year, 300, 400 murders per year, right? And so it is an example that we as Jamaicans can execute a plan, come up with a plan that is that will work, that seem to have worked on paper and execute it. It must include community policing, community-oriented policing. It should include some research-based policing. You know, it should include all of the natural or the academics of policing. But we also must have a court system that is convicting people, because if we have an 11% conviction rate, it's not going to work. And if we don't have the prisons or the electronic foot braces, it's not going to happen. So these things must be, everything other than police in the criminal justice system must be working as one. So the law enforcement, the courts, and the prison and correctional system must be working hand in hand to get this accomplished. That's the way we reduce crime. Not by all right.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gilling, or Professor Gilling. Eventually. Yes, indeed. No, serious matters you've been addressing. A couple of responses so far. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says, Leo, so how this message of collaboration is going to be heard by the government if there's no lobbying for it?
Good question. I'm unsure what you're asking me to do. Are you asking me to go and sit down in front of government? I'm not so sure that's a good idea. Government has to do its work and find out where the gaps are, and if they are seeing what I'm seeing, because they have a system going. If there's a gap that they are seeing, then we're willing to help. I have no problem sitting down and talking to government. I talk to government all day long. I collaborate with all kinds of ministries of health and agencies all day long. As I said, I am not trying to change anybody's thing. If they want, if they see a gap, if they don't see a gap, it's hard. But I don't know what else to do or how to do it.
And Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois says, good morning, Sir Malcolm. Sir Leo is on point where diaspora issues are concerned. There is absolutely no representation in the Midwest. The roles and responsibilities need to be clarified.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
All right.
I totally agree with that.
So on that note, as we wrap, Leo Gilling, because I feel a little guilty monopolizing your time. So,
Dervan, listen, we have not spent a lot of time in the year. This is really a great discussion, even though, it's not a really great discussion.
It is. So your outlook for 2023, you could, on any matter, any sphere, just generally speaking or otherwise, your outlook for 2023.
That's great. For JD Tan, let me start with a personal. On a personal note, I'm looking forward to completing my degree in about a year and a half. So which means by the end of the year, I should be starting some kind of dissertation process or something like that, right? I'm really, really looking forward. I want to work. It's funny. I want to work as a teacher, right? I want to work as a teacher. Back to something that I love. And on a JD Tan basis, Dervan, we want to broaden our. In the past couple of months, our system has been down. So if you notice, you haven't been getting a lot of emails from us.
Yes.
Our email system has been down, and so we just this week brought it back up. So 2023 will be busy again with sending out emails. We have a lot of Jamaicans on our email list, and I'm thanking them for being so supportive of all the work that we do. And I don't take the credit for the work, because we have some excellent people who are doing work in healthcare from Canada and UK and United States. We have some excellent people in education. Dervan, we have 5 task forces in education: early childhood, primary, secondary, tertiary, educational leadership, and special education. And these people are just really great. Agriculture is going to come up because we want to join forces with the Ministry of Agriculture, who came out with a school program devising, creating gardens in school. And trust me, this is one of the best projects that we could ever engage in. And so we are going, the first thing on our list with agriculture is to speak with the minister and hear him tell us about the plan, and then get with our schools and see how we can help our schools create gardens and planters so that the students can take advantage of it. There's nothing better than having some expertise in agriculture. In healthcare, we are already making plans with UWI, School of Nursing, with the NAJ, Nursing Association of Jamaica, with the Pharmaceutical Society, the MAJ, and also with George Brown University in Canada to host our second conference in this coming summer. And that's going to be, we hope to have at least 30 nurses and student nurses to attend. Worst case scenario, by October, we also want to bring a conference here in Jamaica. You can help me with this, Dervan. It's the diseases that are not communicable. What do they call those? Non-communicable diseases. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it's a conference. People who suffer from hypertension, people who suffer from diabetes, and so forth and so on. We want to bring a conference here for health professionals to help them in building capacity. And then the third thing, third thing, we just met with the JTA and with the FAU, that's Florida Atlantic University. We had a big meeting where the JTA came to Florida 3 weeks ago.
Sorry, can you tell us some more right after the break, please?
All right.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
8:30 in the morning here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 9:30 p.m. in Beijing, China.
PSOJ's Crime Stop Jamaica unsolved. We need your help to solve the murder of 38-year-old businessman Kamar Barrett. Wednesday, October 26, 2022, 11:05 a.m., Tamarind Avenue, Kingston 10. A black Honda HRV pulled up. Arguing was heard and then explosions. A body was pushed from the car and it sped off. Police found the body of Mr. Kamar Barrett lying face down in the road. He had been shot in the head. Crime Stop and concerned citizens are offering a total reward of $500,000. Information leading to an arrest and charge. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
Watch TVJ, TVJSN, or One Spot Media on Friday, January 20, to see the exciting culmination of the RJR Gleaner National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Awards for 2022. Learn who will be Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year and who will take home the Chairman's Award, the People's Choice Award, the Youth Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sponsored by VM Group, J. Rand Bevue, Main Event Entertainment Group Limited, the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, Pure Country, Free Your Image Consultancy, Television Jamaica, the Gleaner Company Media Limited, TVJ Sports Network, Radio Jamaica Limited, Hits 92 FM, Power 106 FM, RETV, Jamaica News Network, and One Spot Media.
This is the song that is being played right now in Adelaide, Australia, because it is already 2023 in Australia. They are some 15 hours and 30 minutes ahead of us here in Jamaica. So the New Year's celebrations are on right now. Happy New Year to those who are already in that time zone experiencing New Year celebrations. Let's continue with more on your program, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM, the New Year's Eve edition, the final edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online for 2022. Leo Gilling has been most gracious in sharing his time and talent and thoughts with us on today's edition of the program. And I think he was on to another element of work that has started or is to come. Mr. Gilling?
Thank you so much, Dervan. It's been great being here. So I was saying that just about 2-3 weeks ago, we had 7 members from across the country, from across the United States, converged on Florida, Florida Atlantic University to do a visit of the university, to look at the campus, to look at the area where we're going to host the conference, and to look at the different rooms, the lunch area, and all that good stuff. And then we also had 2 members from the JTA, Dr. Nicely and just immediate past President Winston Smith. And then we had a couple of members from the FAU, Dr. Rod, and the vice president of that campus. And so we had a wonderful 2-day visit and chat, discussion about upcoming, all of the upcoming education interventions, both virtually and face-to-face. Our next face-to-face on the campus of FAU. The partners will be Union of Jamaica Alumni Associations, FAU, the JTA, and also JDTAN. And that's going to be held June 13th through 17th. It's a 4 or 5 day affair, and we hope to have at least 120 teachers, or not scratch, educators on at the event. and we know it's going to be a fabulous event, as it always has been. This year is much more pointed and directed at the issues coming out of pandemic and the new types of challenges that teachers and educators face in Jamaica. So what we're looking at is what are we doing in the United States that can fit in Jamaica, and so we're even down to HR, human resources development, and is going to be looked at. We're going to look at all segments that affect teacher development, teacher leadership, and students, and how to help our students become stronger and better, more prepared for the future. There's a main thrust on early childhood, as the Jamaica Teachers Association has turned its attention now to early childhood, because they did not have any teachers on board before from the early childhood sector, because the government was not investing there. But now the government has invested, and they have a lot of teachers who have become JTA members. And so we are joining forces for better early childhood development as we go on in this partnership. So we're looking forward to 2023 with a lot of anticipation. So I'm thanking all of these guys over the years. We've had an 8-year relationship, with 8-year or 9-year relationship with the JTA, and we continue to work with them, and also with UJA. Really, really great partnership there. And so I'm thanking all of these guys for being all of them for being there, because they do know the issues that our country faces, and they're doing their best to help where they can.
And so are you, Leo Gilling. Well done. Thank you so much for a comprehensive round of discussions here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online here on Power 106 FM. We want to wish you and the entire JD Tan team all the best for 2023 and beyond. We want to thank you for your service to Jamaica, and if we could be so bold as to speak on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, a grateful nation says thanks to you, Leo Gilling and JD Tan. All the best. Don't party too much now. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Dervan. Happy New Year to you and your staff and team at Power 106. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Pleasure. Take care. All the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's Leo Gilling. He is convener, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, JD TAN for short. And he has been sharing with us in a wide-ranging discussion. And we are grateful for his participation. We are receiving, we're seeing some pictures being sent by Sandra K. Gibson, who obviously had a blast last night somewhere in the world. And sharing, she says, "Good morning, Sir Dervan. I'm here with my crew from Florida and New York celebrating the new year. We are in Kingston having a blast. Will you be safe and all the best? Major Mackerel mash up the party," she says. I would imagine in a good way. And she says, "Last night at the marketplace, Clarence Reynolds in action." Oh, and Dr. Garfield Clooney arrived last night representing New York. Karen and Clarence Reynolds representing Florida. And there was an all-white party last night. So lots of partying happening in Jamaica. Has there never been a party or a series of parties in Jamaica at any given time in our history? If you check it, we've been dancing and singing for a very long time. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Leo Gilling. And we see the messages coming in. In fact, what did I see a while ago? Saw a couple of unread messages. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says, "So Leo, deterrence, so true. However, with the human rights groups as strong as they are, in my opinion, it's a major hindrance. Another time we take you up on that discussion, Albert Lewis. Come on now, we're talking human rights here. This is very important and very significant, and we perhaps need to be a little more sensitive and thoughtful when it comes on to this matter of seeing human rights advocates as people who are unwanted, people who cause crime and all kinds of other arguments along those lines. Please think twice on these matters, Albert. He says, Leo, I remember the criticism in those times, but it worked. I wasn't there, but knew of folks there who dared not to make the mistake of being on the wrong side. And Sandra Gibson says, good morning, Sir Dervan Malcolm. Happy New Year from Kingston, Jamaica. Thank you very much. Very same to you. Let's go now to a very patient Angelia Christian. Job would be proud of her. She's the founder of the Angel Foundation UKJA. Happy New Year when it comes. Well, it's already New Year. 5, that's 13, that's 1:41 in the morning. It's already a new year. It's already the 1st of January in England. Is it not,
No,
Angel?
not
Not yet?
yet. Tonight.
Oh, what am I looking at
We still
here
have a
then?
couple hours. Yeah, we still have a couple hours.
I'm sorry, I'm 12 hours ahead in a manner of speaking,
Yeah.
because I'm looking at the 8:42 on the clock here and thinking that that's 8:42 p.m.
No,
So
no. We still haven't reached there yet.
you're
Dervan.
not there yet. Okay, no problem. Well, Happy New Year when it comes.
Happy New Year too when it comes, and I just want to thank Grace Kennedy in Jamaica for supporting the Angel Foundation. You know, I was out there in October, and they gave me food stuff for over 500 students. You know, it was street school. So I just want to wish Grace Kennedy and their staff and Andrea Reynolds and all of them at Grace Kennedy a prosperous 2023. VM Group, Sophie Lewis, who also from the VM Group Foundation, the Angel Foundation want to wish them a happy 2023, and let's do it again in 2023. And to Grace Foods UK and VM Group UK, Port Royal Packers and Transpac Ship, and to all my donors, and to make the diaspora know all about the Angel Foundation, Dervan Malcolm and Power 106. I wish you all a wonderful and prosperous 2023 as we cross over tonight. And my message is, because it is so sad on so many pictures posted on the Instagram. If you're driving a car, save a life to save your life. Slow down with the speed in Jamaica, drivers. Please slow down. It's over 460 people died by road traffic in Jamaica, 2022. So save a life to save your life with your speed on the road, drivers, if you're listening. Take your time. You don't need to be in a hurry. Wherever you're going, if you're going to work, the building is going to wait for you. It's not going to drop down. If you have to bring the children to school, the building is not going to go away. If you're late, you're late. But slow down, please. And a prosperous, and looking forward to working with the Greater Portmore High School. It's going to be a big project. The Greater Portmore High School on Anderson Boulevard, and Trenchtown Primary School. And looking forward to work with you, Dervan. So thank you. Thank you for having me a little bit on your program.
It's been a pleasure, Angel. Thank you for all that you do, as I've been doing this morning, just being presumptuous to say, speaking on behalf of the government and the people of Jamaica, we want to thank you for your service to Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. Thank you so much, Angel.
Thank you, Dervan.
Well done.
God bless.
Bless you too.
And thank you too.
Thank you. Take care. That's Angelia Christian. She's the founder of the Angel Foundation UKJA.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 9 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32, Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 13:45 in the afternoon in the UK, 1345 minutes, 1300 hours, 45 minutes in London, England.
Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play with its development. That's a Morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the New Year's Eve edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Welcome to those who have joined us since the last time we checked. Keep those messages coming in, 876-922-411-225. We're on Facebook Live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and all over social media. And Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, says, congratulations, Leo, on your academic achievement and your passion for Jamaica and her diaspora. Keep on doing what you do best, and all the best for 2023. Thank you, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Same to you and your family. Ambassador Curtis Ward says, Happy New Year, Dervan. Many happy returns, Ambassador. He says, blessings galore for 2023. And so say all of us, Ambassador Ward. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Velta Wilson is in St. Thomas, and she is messaging us as usual. Velta Wilson, thank you so much for making it the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. She says, good morning, Mr. Malcolm and members of the diaspora. All the best for 2023. Same to you, Velta Wilson. Albert says, Dervan, a most fitting end of your show this morning with Leo Gilling. So much great information, feedback, criticisms, solutions that are and can be useful going forward. Happy New Year to you too, Mas Albert, and your family. Nicola in central Jamaica. Good morning to you too, and to the girls. Hello. Dr. Dunn is online as well. Angela Christian of the Angel Foundation UKJA says, to all the principals and students and family, joy and peace to you and yours this coming new year, 2023 and beyond. Blessings always from Angel. Jeremiah 29:11. Thank you very much for that scripture, Angel. Thank you very much. And here is Joan Richardson. Is she in Bermuda? I think she is. Or is she in Jamaica? Maybe she will tell us. Lady Joan, Happy New Year when it comes. How are you?
Good morning, Sir D, and the same to you and all of Jamaica. Yes, I am still in Bermuda. Right where you left me.
That's good. It means when I come back there, you will still be there. Good.
Sir D, I just want to say thank you for all you have done and all you continue to do. On behalf of the Jamaican Association of Bermuda, I just want to say thank you so much for gracing our shores this year at our Jamaica 60th anniversary.
Gala.
Thank you so much. You made it special. You made it special. Yes. We are eternally grateful for your acceptance to come and MC. It was wonderful.
It was
we
an
often
honor.
talk about it.
It was a real
Yeah.
honor. Thank you so much for your most gracious invitation, and all the very best for 2023 and beyond to you and the family.
Yes, and the same to you and my lovely country, Jamaica.
Amen to that. Thanks a lot, Lady June. Thank you.
Forward and enjoy the rest of it. I wish I could be there to see the
I
fireworks this
know.
evening.
I know.
I know you're going to have a blast.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to it all.
Okay. All right. Stay safe, Jamaica. Be careful on the roads, everyone.
That's a very sober note on which to end. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. That's Joan in Bermuda, helping us to close out this New Year's Eve edition of the Jamaican Diaspora live online here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. I think we still have messages that we haven't read as yet. Can we quickly get in a few more? Where are we? Oh, wrong phone. Let's go with this one. I did see some other messages here. Let's bring up WhatsApp. Ren Mendez says, good morning again, Mr. Malcolm. I have listened to Leo, Mr. Gilling, but I'm still at a loss as to where the roadblock exists, why he thinks these things are not working between the government of Jamaica and the diaspora. Ren Mendez. That's a discussion to be continued. Ren Mendez, thank you very much for sharing with us. MH in Albion, St. Thomas says, good morning. Morning, Mr. Malcolm. Thanking you for having the opportunity with this medium of the Jamaican diaspora. I am taking this opportunity in wishing you and all Jamaicans at home and abroad a very happy new year, especially my friends, former colleagues of London buses and Centre West London buses, with whom I shared so many years. As we look forward to ringing the new year, let me assure you that Jamaica is a beautiful place with some of the warmest and friendliest people in the world. I assure you all that old acquaintances will never be forgotten. Happy New Year to you all, friends and family. God's blessings be with you all. Dervan, I would love you to play for me Auld Lang Syne by John Holt. We searched for it earlier on. We didn't find it. We could check again. Thank you very much, MH in Albion. And a couple of other messages. Hello to Sidonie Morrison, Donald DePass. She says, sincere season's greetings to Sir Dervan, my source of inspiration. You're very kind. The entire staff, family, and friends. Your program has been so educational and personalized. Everyone is wished a productive, peace-filled, and prayerful New Year. December 15th was my birthday. Yes, we got the message. We were shouting it out on radio. Sorry you missed it. 82 golden years, which I'm still reveling in. My daughter sent in a request, but you may be on an outside broadcast. Thanks for reading. No, I read it from top to bottom. I did. And I think we're gonna have to leave it there. But just to end the way we started, by reminding us of the power of this country, the greatest little country in the world, Jamaica, land we love. And so this song, Auld Lang Syne, has a Jamaican connection, for those of you who have been listening all morning. And that is that this is the time of year, New Year's Eve, that at celebrations all across the world, no celebration anywhere in the world at this time on New Year's Eve is complete without a chorus or two of Robert Burns's famous Auld Lang Syne, written as a poem to be set to music. Auld Lang Syne celebrates old friendships and happy memories of the good old days. And of course, there had to be a Jamaican connection. So in the song, in the poem that became a song, Auld Lang Syne, the speaker calls on us to consider whether it is right or even possible to forget old friends and lose our memories of the good old times. The speaker describes happy childhood memories of running and playing freely in nature with his friend, and how he and his friend have since gone their separate ways through life. The speaker and his friend reunite down the pub with a handshake and a hearty drink to the good old days. Biographically, Robert Burns was born on January 25th in Alloway, Scotland. Robert Burns grew up in a poor farming family which moved from farm to farm during his childhood, finding no financial success. Listen for the clincher now. Jamaica is about to be mentioned. In 1786, Robert Burns was in serious financial difficulty on his failing farm in Mossgiel, so he planned to emigrate to Jamaica for work. To raise money for his journey to Jamaica, Robert Burns published his first poetry collection, poems chiefly in the Scottish dialect, commonly known as the Kilmarnock edition, in the summer of 1786. The success of this collection ignited his fame as a poet and improved his finances. The success of his first poetry collection meant Robert Burns could scrap his planned emigration to Jamaica and instead take a short trip to Edinburgh to prepare the second edition and look for a patron. He published the Edinburgh edition in 1787 and toured Scotland. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition, and indeed the final edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online for 2022. Thanks to Chandel Forbes and Silly Spinnock for doing technical and production duties behind the scenes. Thanks to our guests. Very special thanks to Leo Gilling. Thanks to you, our faithful listeners and viewers all over the world, for making it the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. All things being well, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online returns next Saturday, the first, next Saturday, in fact, next Saturday, the next Saturday, yes, the first it will be, next Saturday. No, I think it would be about the 8th. Oh, where am I? Where's my calendar? I want to make sure I get it right. All things being well, right, all things being well, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online returns next Saturday, the 7th of January, 2023. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm on behalf of the entire family here at 32 Lyndhurst Road, wishing everyone everywhere a happy new year.
And wait for a golden one. Free morning sun till die, but seas between us radioed since days of lang syne. For all lang syne.
Power 106 FM just presented the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online.